speak so much about A.J. Brown, DeVonta Smith. When it comes to Zach Pascal, what have you enjoyed most about being his teammate since he's gotten here?
Yeah, I think Zach, his versatility, what he's able to bring to the table, what he's been for us so far this year, and just having a guy you can really count on. He has a track record of doing great things where he's been, and I always know he's a guy that you can count on when you need him. So.
On the second touchdown run, what makes you decide to turn back in as opposed to stepping out of bounds there?
I just, kind of felt it as a player. When I'm out there, I try not to make it more than what it is. I just kind of reacted to what I was seeing, ended up making a play on the touchdown.
Can you describe what it was like to go through the 2020 season in the quarterback room with everything involving the pandemic and you having to learn playing in the NFL, and what you learned about yourself having gone through that with Carson Wentz being ahead of you?
Yeah, I think anytime you have an opportunity to be on a team like that with a player like him and coaches like we had with their experience, it's always a learning and teachable moment. And that's any opportunity I have. I try and learn from everything I put myself into or every position I'm in. And I learned a lot. And I think that's something that I preach to my teammates now, the younger guys now. Take advantage of the opportunities you have while you're not playing, because it pays dividends in the end. Just have to be patient, be a sponge, and soak it all in.
Was there anything you learned specifically from Carson, or anything he taught you specifically?
Well, I just saw, he has a great arm. He's a big guy, hard to tackle. And he just makes kind of crazy plays in the pocket. So I definitely took notice of that when I was a rookie, and he still does it now. Kind of ducking and dodging and weaving and doing those things. So, yeah.
It was a touchy situation for both of you. Did you build any sort of relationship with him? Do you ever, text with him or anything like that?
There's definitely a mutual respect between the two of us. When he went to Indy, and now here, definitely a mutual respect, and I wish him nothing but the best.
DeVonta,
What do you remember? Jalen, what do you remember about your early days with DeVonta, going back to the Alabama days, kind of building the relationship up? And was there any point where you noticed there was something special going on between the two of you?
Yeah, I always kind of draw towards a guy that's just willing to put the work in, because I know I'm gonna put the work in, and I was able to build a relationship with DeVonta just because he was willing to work. I always tell a story how we didn't like to party much or do too much. We hang out with our friends and do things like that, but we were about to grind, and there's a few guys that I remember just being willing to do that. Minkah Fitzpatrick being one of them, DeVonta being one of them, just about the work. So we were able to build a great relationship just through our work ethic and kind of tracked ourselves back here to Philly.
Obviously, Carson was disappointed the way that year played out. How was it in the room with you guys after that? Was he still helpful on the sideline during games?
I'm just going to say, I think we're focused on the now. I'm focused on the now.
Joe, that throw to Goddard that you made on the sideline in between three guys, it wound up being incomplete because the defender knocked it out. But that was a tough throw. That was right on the money. Is that the kind of throw that maybe you don't try if you're not kind of feeling it in that moment?
No, I was just playing ball.
I guess what I mean is that a throw that you really only try to make if you're playing well, you're a high level of confidence?
I was just playing ball. Just playing ball.
You said that you tried.
Anytime there's a new player that comes here, they almost to a man say, Jalen texted me, Jalen welcomed me. I was curious, is that something natural to you? Were you taught that, whether it was by your father, Nick, Lincoln? Where did that come about to try to get sort of everybody involved as the leader of this team?
Yeah, I think that's something that I just feel like you have to do as a leader. I think it's something that you have to do. And that's something that I've always tried to do, whether it be Bradbury or Chauncey or anybody who comes in. Just welcome them, because it brings you so much more comfort, and it's easier to build that relationship, that team camaraderie, the type of team bonds you need. It's easier to do that when you're leaders, and guys that make plays, they extend that hand to you, of friendship. So.
I was just hoping to follow up on the previous answer. You said you learned a lot from 2020. What did you learn specifically?
Yeah, same thing I learned throughout my years in college is, be patient and control what I can every day. These are all things that I express to you guys every time I come up in here and speak. These are all values and principles I have that I share to my teammates. Be patient with it. Be patient with the game. Be patient with whatever position you're in, and control what you can. So yeah.
What's the Redskins defense look like on film?
Commanders.
Commanders, excuse me. Any different than last year?
Nah, they fly to the ball. They fly to the ball. They're very disruptive. Obviously, those guys on the front seven, they're really good. They play really good ball. So, a division opponent, we just have to be ready for another good team, another good defense in front seven.
Your relationship with Shane has obviously grown over the last year or so. How does that kind of show itself on the field with his, he knows you better as far as what you like, what you don't like. You know him better as far as how he calls a game. How does that kind of help you get to where you are now?
Yeah, I think it's still early. And I think we're still building that. Everything is a process, and that's not just Shane. It's everybody. Everybody's all inclusive. I talk about how everybody has to be on the same page, and everybody needs to see things the same, and that's from teammate to teammate. That's from center to quarterback. That's from head coach to quarterback. That's everybody being on the same page, and I think that's just something that you build throughout time, because things change, looks change, the opposition obviously changes. So it's an everlasting kind of climb of, okay, adjustment, but are we on the same page throughout those adjustments?
It's not every week.
One of the things Nick was saying is that he doesn't quite know what your ceiling is, just because I guess you have so much more potential. What do you see as your possible ceiling, and what kind of things do you think you need to reach it?
Yeah, I said this when I was coming out in the draft, that I never put a ceiling on myself, and I've always felt that way. So nothing changes. I just take it day by day. I try and climb every day. I learn from my mistakes, and just keep pushing forward. That's the mentality. All of these values and principles that I have, it's been pretty consistent. It's because that's who I am. So just never get too high, never get too low. Take it day by day and just continue to learn. As long as everybody in this team, in this organization, but these players, coaches, everybody continue to learn, you should be able to continue to grow.
Nick spoke earlier about your ability to take hard coaching, and he mentioned the one time you came up to him early on and said, hey, you can coach me hard. Obviously, you must have got some of that from your father. In the film room, how were you able to develop that as well when coaches point out your mistakes and you're able to accept them?
I'm able to accept criticism because I am my biggest critic.
It's not a game when you tweet after a game. What compelled you to put out Hurts donut the other night?
I don't run my Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.